So, we're only partway through 2025, and honestly, this year is already stacked with some absolute bangers. From jaw-dropping indies to massive AAA releases, it feels like every month another potential Game of the Year contender drops. Today, we're going to break down the titles that are already leading the charge for Game of the Year, and maybe a couple of dark horses you'll want to keep your eye on. First up, we have Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. This turn-based RPG from Sandfall Interactive took the world by storm when it dropped in April. With its amazingly deep characters, mature writing, creative world design, and combat that never gets old, Clair Obscur feels like a breath of fresh air in the RPG genre. Developed by ex-Ubisoft veterans, this one blends classic turn-based mechanics with bold new ideas, earning rave reviews and fan love everywhere. If you're looking for a game that's already being called Game of the Year by many, Clair Obscur might be it. Love co-op games? Split Fiction from Hazelight Studios, the masterminds behind It Takes Two, is a magical co-op adventure you don't want to miss. This time, you and your partner play as rival authors forced to team up, navigating clever level design and tons of unique, competitive mini-games. The story is lighter than Hazelight's previous titles, but the gameplay pillars are as strong as ever. For anyone who loves playing with a friend, Split Fiction is a top contender. You knew he'd be here. Hideo Kojima's back with Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, released in June. This highly anticipated sequel builds on everything fans loved and puzzled over in the first game, but with smoother pacing, better combat, and a much more approachable gameplay loop. The expanded arsenal and creative freedom combine for a truly standout experience, making this strange and beautiful world one you won't forget anytime soon. Next, let's talk about The Alters from 11-Bit Studios, released in June. This survival sci-fi game is all about making choices and living with their consequences. You play as Jan, a character who encounters alternate versions of himself from parallel universes. The real twist? Each alter made different life choices, and the story does a fantastic job exploring these fascinating realities. The survival mechanics are super accessible, while the writing pulls you in and keeps you rooting for each version of Jan. If you want a survival game heavy on story and character, The Alters is a must-play. Time to swing into some platforming fun with Donkey Kong Bananza. Nintendo's latest brings Donkey Kong back into the limelight, building on the legacy of 3D platformers like Super Mario Odyssey, but amping it up with wild destruction mechanics. Smashing environments, mastering DK's movement, and the imaginative, constantly challenging levels make Bananza both rewarding and seriously fun. The second half of the game is said to be even better than the first, so if you love platformers, this one belongs on your Game of the Year list. Puzzle fans, rejoice! Blueprints is a roguelike puzzle game that tests your wits and creativity at every turn. Developed by Doggy this indie standout combines immersive storytelling with satisfying progression. While some solutions rely on RNG, the constant feeling of moving forward and never being punished for failure keeps the experience engaging and rewarding. If you're after something that's both smart and replayable, Blueprints should be on your radar. And of course, we have to mention Deltarune, the much-anticipated successor to Undertale by Toby Fox. Released a few years ago, but still making waves in 2025, Deltarune delivers everything fans hoped for. Charming characters, mysterious storylines, and hours of memorable gameplay. It may be a long shot for the big Game of the Year trophy due to its earlier release, but it absolutely deserves to be mentioned among the year's best games. Finally, Mario Kart World. Nintendo's fresh take on the beloved series gives us an open-world karting experience like no other. Imagine exploring an entire world, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater style, but with all the chaos and charm of Mario Kart races. Open-world exploration, thrilling new ways to race, and endlessly creative mechanics make this a bold, innovative entry in a classic franchise, and a surefire Game of the Year contender. And there you have it, our picks for the top games of 2025 that are already looking like Game of the Year material. Which of these are you most excited to play, or have you already started racking up the hours? Drop your favorite in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gaming deep dives just like this.